happiness.
No, you didn't say your dad.
Not really.
One of these days, Roberto's gonna play guitar for you, cha-cha.
Right wins.
Welcome to our greatest retro hunting, game hunting, movie hunting, hunting for nostalgia finds of 2020. We're coming to the end of the year. We figured it'd be fun since we started doing hunting videos this year to do a recap of the things that maybe weren't the most monetarily valuable. Actually, there's a lot on here that are, but that we're like, holy shit, we can't believe we found this and sold it for this amount.
Let's start off with like an older clip. I think this was in our first pickups video. It's crazy, we've only done 4 pickups videos and we already have a list of 10 amazing dingers. So the first thing that I remember finding, or you found, was Contra 3: The Alien Wars for 10 cents, guys. That still blows my mind. You sold it for $30, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you essentially got it for free. 10 cents.
I remember, like, the one thing that I'll always remember about that find is it was the first, like, super cheap retro. You don't find Super Nintendo games in the wild very often anymore, 1. 2, I remember seeing it in the box and wanting to get good footage because we had just loosely talked about doing hunting videos.
We didn't know if we wanted to.
So a lot of times I was filming, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know what type of shots to get. And I'm thinking, like, I literally remember I was shaking. And I'm like, nobody is going to believe this. Because it's like, hey, what do you got on the stuff in this box? She's like, I don't know, 25 cents. And I was like,
okay.
For everything in here? And she's like, I mean, I don't know, like 10 cents?
This box?
Like 25 cents.
Okay. 25 cents each?
Yeah, or we could do 10 cents.
10 cents each?
It doesn't matter.
Holy cat crap.
I just want to get rid of it.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I'm like,
So she made it better.
Yeah. And I think I even said it in the video. I was like counting down the seconds. I'm like, dude, the boyfriend or the brother or somebody's going to walk out and be like, oh, hell no. And luckily, I gathered up a few things. I think I gave her a full $1 for everything I grabbed. We got out of there with Contra 3: The Alien Wars. She said 10 cents. I gave her $1 and bought some other stuff too. So however you want to slice that.
But still.
Ended up selling it to a friend for under market. We sold it for $30, but it was just... The main thing is just finding the stuff. It's the comfort of the chase. That's really what makes it fun.
The footage is insane. And speaking of insane, more like NSYNC. Justin Timberlake, man, model behavior.
Yeah.
I don't think, was he in NSYNC or was he Backstreet Boys?
No, he was NSYNC. NSYNC,
okay.
straight up, dude. Trust me, I know my boy
Okay, I just
bands.
couldn't remember if he was a puppet or if he was just a Backstreet Boy.
You know me, dude. I know my boy bands. You know, this model behavior, we also have another VHS right after this. VHS stuff is really fun to collect because it's so readily available and it's so cheap right now. I would say right now there's probably more money to be found in DVDs than VHS, but if you find the right VHS, model behavior happens to be one of those. We spent 75 cents on it, sold it for $37.99, and that was well below market because
you were just trying to get rid of it.
We try getting rid of things as quick as we can. We usually go under market on our pricing just to get the shit out of here. So I probably could have got 50 range out of it if I was patient, but I'm just not anybody that knows me knows I'm not a patient person. So we got $37.99 out of a stupid Justin Timberlake VHS.
Disney movie.
Bye.
But this next VHS, holy crap, a terrible horror film. Well,
depends on who you ask.
But Trick or Treat, 75 cents, dude. You sold that. We sold that for $95.
So
what?
This one was fun because this was kind of after. I would say this is a more recent pickup.
Yes.
And I was feeling a lot more comfortable with my movie knowledge at this point. I had been hunting for months and months and months and months and months, looking at solely VHS and DVD tapes. So when I seen that,
you were like,
I had a pretty good idea. Like, okay, I've never seen this before, and actually, I think I found it, if I remember right, in September or October. And I was thinking the market's got to be high
for October movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And anyway, it was at the same store actually that I found Model Behavior at. It was 75 cents. We sold that damn thing for $95 freaking dollars.
That's insane.
It's insane. It was in really good shape. We watched it a fistful of times. times, if you're selling something for that much, you got to make sure the son of a bitch works. I don't want to ship something out like that.
And I had to see if it was a movie worth $95, and in my opinion, it's not. But, I mean, it was enjoyable. I had fun watching.
You know, we've probably talked about this in videos. Maybe we have, or maybe we haven't. What drives the market on these is how available they are on streaming services. That's at least what we find. If it's not on streaming, there's a lot of value there because it's rare, it was limited prints, and it's also not on streaming. So
and you can't find it
It's
anywhere,
kind of entombed on that type of format. And usually the best format available of whatever that entombed item is what the price is. That's why DVDs are so high on DVDs that haven't been moved over to streaming services. So model behavior in Trick or Treat blows our minds. But you have to have something to play VHS tapes on.
Yes.
So you need some freaking VCRs, and the market right now,
Dude,
I only see it going up for VCRs is freaking nuts, man.
I can't believe it. We've talked about VCRs in all 4 of our pickups videos. Some of them sell for over $100 for a VCR, guys. Everyone had a VCR back in the day. Yeah. Everyone.
We sold that, well, they were both combos. One was a DVD recorder, so you could record the VHS
which is awesome.
over. That was a Sony one. We sold that for $105. Below market though. If I was patient, I could have probably got $140 to $150 out of that. And then we sold a black Magnavox, which the black ones I think are more rare than the silver, which is maybe why I got this. Memory serves me, I might be off a little bit, but I think I got like $119 out of that.
That's insane, guys.
Both of these, if memory serves me, I spent roughly in that $4.99 to $6.99 range for them. VCRs, if you want to get into that game, you got to know 1 out of every 5 that you pick up is probably not going to work.
Yes, dude, we've thrown away so many. We get so excited, we find them for cheap, and then they don't work.
Yeah, but we only spend about $4.99 a pop on them, so if we have to throw them away, what gives? You know, when you're making that much margin on the ones that do work. And then they are also very, very slow movers. Even on these success stories, I know we sold a Panasonic for $44. There's some more that I'm missing that have been in the pickup videos. You guys maybe go watch them if you want to see all of them. But every single one of those was listed for at least 30 days.
Yeah. You just gotta wait for someone to be like, oh man, I want a VCR in 2020.
Yeah.
And
but I think it's a format that is really fun to collect right now. I think as long as 80s and 90s kids are still craving that VHS experience, I don't see this market crashing anytime soon. I think maybe 5-10 years out when it's all DVD kids that are in their late 20s, 30s. Yeah, that's probably gonna be the deal. But anyway, I think it's here to stay for the time being. Now let's talk about a DVD pickup. We got a couple in here. There's a ton in the actual pickup videos that are really cool margin plays, but this one blew me away. I was at a Goodwill and I saw a complete series, which a lot of times individual seasons of shows, depending on what it is, don't have a ton of value, but if you can find that complete series.
If you can find the complete series of anything.
The show Mob Wives, the weird thing about
this
was it was region code 4, which I think only plays in PAL territory, so it wasn't even to be played on North American DVD players, and I got it for $5.99, sold the stupid ass thing for $89.99, and it wasn't even sealed, it wasn't even brand new. But
it's a complete series, and it's not on streaming, guys, so that's why it sold for so much, because of the demand. At least that's what I think. But it's just crazy. I've never heard of that show. I don't know what it's about. I assume it's about mobs' wives.
Well, I think it's mobsters. People are tied to the mob. I think it probably came out. I don't know anything about the show, but I think it probably came out when Desperate Housewives was the thing, the Real Housewives of New York.
Oh, so it was another spin on that.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Sopranos for women.
Yeah, see?
See? Ooh.
You know what? This is too fucked up for me even to think about.
One of the better pickups we had in 2020, we were together. And I'll never forget when I asked the price of this, I could feel us collectively, our buttholes pucker.
Yeah.
Because we love the Wii U. And there was Wii U game pads for $3 a piece. We're just going to roll the footage.
What's the story on this guy? Do you guys have the system?
I don't.
Just the gamepad?
I just have the pad, yep, and I've got another one actually with a
Wii U as well?
Yep, same thing. Same exact thing.
Cool. Do they work?
Yes, they both work.
Okay.
This overall was just an insane sale because we actually went back to this sale, if you remember right.
And got sealed VHS tapes, NES games.
Yeah,
we got
which
so
the
much
next
stuff.
thing on our list is an NES game we got at that pickup. But $3 a piece for these things. They were in pretty damn good shape. We sold one of them for $119, and we sold another one for 71.
Dude, it's insane because I remember walking up to this sale and seeing a Wii U gamepad like on display, and there was a $3 sticker on it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then he was like, "I have another one for the same price." What? You had two of them?
And he had no Wii U games, and he had no console.
He just had them. I was like, "What is happening, man?" I was so jacked up, and I was like so nervous to get out of there before he knew what he was doing.
A lot of our hunting, guys, is done on the south side of Des Moines, Iowa. It's a little bit of a rougher side of town. I don't know if this guy is part of the Wet Bandits and just goes into homes and gets it. I don't know why he had all this stuff, but nonetheless, it was a great hunting find, and those type of things. I think it was coming off of a weekend where we went out and didn't find shit.
Yes,
and then on
weekend.
This day, that video that is in, I think almost everything in that is from that morning.
Yes, that was one of the best hunting days we've ever had. And going back to that sale, another find, the second time we went back, we freaking found Power Blade for the NES.
No joke.
We didn't sell it, we kept it, obviously. I remember flipping through the NES games and then Power Blade, and I was like, what the?
It was unreal. My heart skipped a beat because when I saw the guy on
you thought it was Power Blade,
dude, I was like, oh my, but it was Power Blade on, which is still like a $60 game.
It's still a great game.
One that we needed for the collection. And if you guys have watched the pickup videos, I'd say we keep less than 5% of what we find.
Yeah, we don't keep a lot.
It's all about flipping, and then using that to fund things we really, really want.
Yeah.
But man, Power Blade was a dinger. And again, it was that same freaking day, dude. We were on fucking fire that day.
And it was a beautiful day out. It was a fantastic Saturday morning. It's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was. That's one of those days when I'm looking at this list. We were putting this video together. I'm like, we might do this for a few years and never have a day that was
like
as good as that.
Dude, the freaking stars were aligned, man.
Just sale after
sale. And they were
sale.
just giving us stuff.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was crazy. We found that Wii that day, and then we were going through, we found cassette tapes that we actually wanted to and listened to them in the car while we were hunting.
Baseball cards. It was a crazy
baseball stuff. It was awesome. One of my best memories of 2020 and hunting in general.
Speaking of one of my favorite memories that I sadly wasn't there, but the story is hilarious. It was the day of our 24-hour live stream, and you were out hunting, and you found a freaking awesome game.
Yeah, I was digging through dump bins at Goodwill. I don't know if you guys have those in your area, but it's basically a rummage sale. They've got bins of random shit. It's semi kind of categorized. Like usually if it's full of books, it's full of books.
Just books.
Usually if it's full of toys, it's full of toys. But there's a lot of migration because people can move stuff to different bins. I'm digging through, and I seen a GameCube case, and it was like a ways in front of me, and I seen the Sega logo. So I was just assuming that it was probably like one of the Sonic games or whatever. And I'm digging, trying to get to it.
He's swimming through
and it's Skies of Arcadia Legends.
And you're like, I doubt there's a disc in here.
What would you say the odds are when you open a DVD or a game there that there's nothing in it?
There's nothing in there. Dude, we were in there one morning, and there was literally a guy opening every DVD, movie, CD, and dropping the disc into like a bag because it's by weight.
Yeah.
So he was getting things for cheaper and robbing everyone else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's...
And
I saw the guy, and it pissed me off. But
so I open this thing, the game is in there, and not only, this stuff, guys, is tossed to the wind. I mean, it is just usually rough. The disc is like perfect. It's got the manual, and it's got all the inserts, like the mail away Sega insert, the GameCube like owner's manual for the game.
Cool.
I don't think that's another one of those. I don't think I'll ever have a find at the dump bins as good as that one. Paid roughly that day. I walked out of there and spent $5, and I had a pile of shit.
Yeah, because it's by weight.
So I'm gonna say that was about $1. Probably more than what it actually was because I had 6-7 things, and we sold it for $139.99. That was a tough one to sell because our GameCube collection is small, but it's mighty. If you go through our GameCube collection, it's just dinger after dinger.
Boom, boom.
I really wanted that game because I loved it on the Dreamcast, but for that type of margin, it had to go.
I remember when we posted this video, the comments saying, "Oh my God, you didn't just sell that, did you?" We did.
Yeah, I mean, usually when we can go for margin, we're going to do it 9 times out of 10. And this next pickup was another one that we were together
same
for.
Story.
I remember we were there, and you literally go, "Dude, what's this?" And I'm like looking at the other DVDs, and I look over, and I'm like, oh, we better get the cameras out. And this was a really hard one to get rid of.
Yes, the Royal Rumble Anthology, man. There was 30 discs in this thing. It was like gold. It had like gold lacing.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, man. So hard to get rid of.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know we're big wrestling fans.
We love wrestling. It was $5.99.
I think one reason, that, I mean, obviously we like it, but it's really good for us because we can put it on without much volume, and it's on in the background. You don't have to pay attention. Like, if you put a movie on and you lose track of where you're at, it's hard to get back in.
But wrestling,
you can look up and catch a couple cool moves or the finish of a match, and then boom, you're back to editing and whatever you're doing. So it works very, very well in the game room. We would have been able to put some miles on it. The $5.99 into $135.99. Baby, bye, bye, bye. See what I did there?
Oh, that's a little tie back to freaking Justin.
I knew you'd like that.
We're on a first name basis.
Yeah.
Justin. Moving on to the last pickup. Actually, before we talk about this, because this has never been in a video, so a little teaser for you. Let's talk about this beer. Bourbon County. This is the brand special number 4. This is the oatmeal stout aged in bourbon barrels with coffee and maple syrup 2020 edition.
Yeah, so
a variant of Bourbon County.
Goose Island's Bourbon County is kind of I would say probably a world famous yearly iteration that they do. They've integrated variants over time, and we did a bunch of these last year. This is really good. They are some of the better barrel aged stouts. It's always good. Something we look forward to every year. I would say the oatmeal, coffee, maple syrup components of that do not drive this beer.
No, which is weird because that's like the variant of it,
They're very subtle. If I didn't maybe know that they were there, I wasn't looking for them, or this wasn't getting closer to room temperature, it'd be very hard to differentiate this from the regular Bourbon County Stout, which is an amazing stout. I just kind of wish these flavors were a little more forward and not playing second fiddle to the core of the beer, because we have the core of the beer, which we'll review in a later episode.
I was so excited for this one because the variants are way more expensive than the regular, and this tastes a lot like the regular, which is still really good, but being more expensive and not getting like the huge variant flavor, it's kind of disappointing. I was hoping like when this warmed up that flavors would come through, but they're not.
Yeah, I'm almost getting more of like, other than maple syrup and like an oatmeal cookie, I'm almost getting like a molasses sweetness.
Oh, you're pulling that? Man, it's taken me a little bit to pull anything.
It's just really tough for me though to get oatmeal, maple,
3 distinct,
and coffee. I'm not picking up many coffee notes here. Inherently with stouts, you kind of get a little bit of bitterness that may be coffee derived. Anyways, really good beer. I don't think it's worth double what the regular Bourbon County stout is.
It is expensive, and if all these 3 flavors came through, man, this would be a great breakfast beer because those are the 3 breakfast flavors, man.
The 3 breakfast food groups.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. Maple syrup. Just that makes me think of Elf.
Yeah.
What a great holiday film.
Yeah.
But this beer is good.
Yeah.
But not for the price, I would say.
Yeah.
Candy, candy canes, candy corns, and syrup.
You guys ever seen the movie called The Wizard?
Oh, such a good movie.
We found a power glove. I don't have great footage, so once you guys see this and what would be the next pickup video. It was pretty cool though. So it was a very quiet morning, really rainy, stormy, so not a lot of people were out. And I end up at this garage sale, and it's these 2 gals in their garage, and we're actually like talking and chopping it up. We're talking 90s stuff. They were both kind of skater girl-esque and wearing Vans, and we were talking about Airwalks and Jinkos.
Oh, that's so cool.
They were selling VHS tapes, and so I didn't want to, like, with no other people there, I didn't want to get out the camera and film, because we were like really chopping it up and connecting and having a good conversation. And I said, hey, do you guys have any other movies? Because that's what they had a bunch of, or video game stuff. And she's like, oh, I'm actually a collector. She's like, but I don't know if I can get rid of any of my stuff. I said, well, do you have anything that you would part ways with? I'll make you a good offer. So she goes inside, and she came out and she had Final Fantasy, Battletoads, Kirby's Adventure, and John Elway football. And I said, what do you want for the games? And she said $5. And I was like $5 each? And she's like, no. She's like, I've got doubles of these. She's like, just $5, And I was like,
what? Okay. Done.
And so then she's like, oh, yeah, I've got some weird accessories too. She said she had an NES steering wheel, which I've never seen one of those. In the comment section below, is there a steering wheel for the NES?
Yeah, I never even heard of that.
Never seen it. And she's like, and I've got a power glove. And I was like, oh, you do? So I said, well, would you wheel and deal with me on that at all? And she's like, I don't know. It's really cool. And I've got the sensors and everything. And I'm like, I'll make you an offer. She's like, let me go in and get it. She's like, I haven't used it for years. I don't even know if it works. She goes inside. While she's doing that, I pick up some movies. And she brings it out. And I said, what would it take? What do you want for that? And I'm literally willing to, I've got cash on me. I'm ready to go. She goes, I don't know. How about like with the movies, the Power Glove, and the games, $30 for everything.
What? You were like, yes?
Yes. So we get the Power Glove home. We've used it in some pour footage. You guys probably already know that we have it if you've seen those videos. We tested it and everything. I don't know how well they're supposed to work. We can get it to register, but like it does some really weird shit.
I pulled up the manual on the computer trying to figure out how to calibrate it.
Yeah.
We tried playing Mario with it. He just kept freaking jumping.
And running left.
Running left the other way. So we couldn't even beat a level, which was frustrating. And I don't know if that's how they work or if it's broken or...
It seems like a very clean copy. The sensor assembly doesn't seem broken anyway.
It was beautiful. I just remember trying to figure it out. My freaking forearm was killing me, and I couldn't even play a level.
Yeah, it was rough. But anyway, we have, parted ways with the majority of that stuff. The Power Glove is listed. I don't know what we're going to make out of that lot, but it was $30. We got a Power Glove, and it was pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, so that is insane. So that's probably going to be in the next pickups video, which will probably be a while, guys.
Turns out that's 10 things. The top 10 hunting finds for Got G in 2020. It was an epic year.
Yes.
Tons of fun, tons of memories. Guys, hopefully 2021, once this pandemic is behind us, because it was a very slow start to garage sale season.
Very slow,
right,
yes.
They weren't, there was not many. We would go out and maybe find 2 or 3 sales.
Yeah, even on a beautiful day, people were weird about it, but then like some weekends there'd be a lot, and like you don't know if you have to wear your mask or not. It was just very weird. I hope this next summer, this next season, it's just back to the normal.
Yeah.
Back to freaking garage sales. Back to some more finds. And I'm hoping we can get some major pickups next year.
I'm thinking we got that eye. Our eye's getting very, very trained. Yeah.
The mind's eye.
Yeah, dig it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for all the support throughout the year. 2020 has been kind of a pain in the nuts, but you know what? Sometimes you got to take lemons and make a little lemonade out of them. Yeah. Okay. Guys, hope you guys have an awesome holiday season and happy hunting out there. There are deals. You just got to go out and find them. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid. You say, but I've beat that horse. I've beat that meat until it's raw.
And there's pulp coming out.
And left you here to learn.
Let's try this.
Yeah.
It's this season.
Ooh, dude. I just inhaled a fucking booger, bro. I almost gagged. Oh, you ever done that?
No.
I did a quick sniff
and it just fucking went through the canal?
Fucking nugget shot down the pipe.
Oh.
Wow. That's really good before a beer.
That's a good palate cleanser.
Yeah. Happy days.